In my promotional package, I have developed or challenged the forms and conventions of existing music, video, and promotional packages. So, first of all, I've done this by, as you know, the genre of my music video is hip hop. Um, Something very common in the genre hip hop is the low angle shots. This is because it shows dominance of the artist over everyone else, and it also shows that they look down on the audience. Another very common thing for the genre hip hop is the obvious clothing, which is flashy and blingy, which means that they have money and they're wealthy. However, I've changed this in my music video because I wear very bland and plain clothing to show that I'm not a wealthy person, and this is because that the meaning of this song is about Kendrick's childhood, and I wanted to show that throughout the song and connect the music video with the lyrics. Um, so that's why I've done plain clothing, to show that I'm not very wealthy. Next, we'll move on to the mise-en-scène conventions. As I said earlier, dark clothes to show that I'm not wealthy or anything. Also, the surroundings. So in some of the shots, you saw that it looked some of the shots looked abandoned, and they looked quite old, the places. This was to show that Kendrick lived in a very poor area where he was brought up in, and he'd had no money, so it reflected on his area, and also he describes this in his lyrics. So I've also done it because of the lyrics. Another thing is location. When I was looking at doing this music video, I was looking at where I would have the locations at, and as one of my very clear locations, I've decided to set it in an abandoned building. This was because I wanted to express to the audience, and instead of just saying it in the lyrics, physically show them that Kendrick is very poor in his childhood and that his parents had no money, which also leads into the problem of why alcohol was such a big problem with his dad and all of that, because they had no money and they were, yeah. The next thing I'm going to go on about is cinematography conventions. So the close-ups were very important during my music video. This was because I wanted to show the audience the facial expressions after each lyric, or every time I had a close-up, it would be a close-up of the meaning of a part of a lyric, and after that strong, meaningful lyric words, you'd have a facial expression which would reflect on it to back it up. And this song is a very effective song in the fact that Kendrick had nothing in his childhood. Another thing is the establishing shots. These are also quite important in my music video because I wanted the audience to stand where where it was being shot at, and what sort of area Kendrick was brought up in, and what he had to deal with. The last one is the mid shot. This was so you could see the actions, my actions in the music video, but you could also then see my facial expressions, which reflect on the actions I'm doing to give a clearer meaning to the audience. And the last convention I'll be talking about is editing. One very important editing convention I used was the black and white effect. This is important because I wanted the music video to majority be black and white, so the music video doesn't have a time frame set on it, because if it has colour, people set a time period of when the music video was recorded in. But I didn't want that because this song had such a truthful and meaningful meaning to it that I thought that whenever you were brought up, or however old you are, this song still relates and still has a meaning to you. And another thing for editing conventions, and the last thing, is the slow motion. I use this quite a lot throughout my music video, and that was truly to show and exaggerate the expressions on my faces after each lyric, just so you could truly recognise how he was feeling. So yeah, thank you.